licenses at 108
Adams.
no. 108 Adams, 221 North Ave, 693 Washington Street, and 96 Railroad Street.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
What is, can I just get clarification on the pad reader? How does the miscellaneous license for, I'm taking that as fortune teller license?
This is like a business license, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Miscellaneous?
It's at the top of the last page.
Page, okay, hang on.
Yes, the card reader.
Yes.
Is that, I think that,
That's not,
What?
that's just a regular, like a business license?
No, it's a fortune.
You need a
card
license?
reader license,
You need a
yes.
card reader license?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have
Is
to
there a
pass a
test
test, but,
If you were a card reader, you would have known that.
and if you're a fortune teller, you wouldn't have asked the question.
I move we approve it, and
Okay, second? Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Geez, we should bring her in here. She can tell the future.
She's not feeling well right now.
Oh.
Mary.
We
All
got
right.
that out of her,
And is that it? Is that
we
all?
got that out of a card reading.
All right, man. Now, John, this is your moment to shine. Town manager report?
Mr. Town Manager has nothing to report
Thank you.
other than.
Thank you.
Okay.
wish everybody Merry Christmas.
So when are we gonna vote on these other four that is that the next meeting?
The 19th?
Next meeting? Okay.
The ones that we held, yes.
Agreed. And he's gotta step down, so.
Yeah.
You have no report?
I will tell you that
You're right.
now that I've had the opportunity, we have begun the process for the FY13 budget. We expect to have most of the submissions in for, I think it's the 23rd of December, for a January 15th publication, which means that this year, because of the format that took us and bumped our budget process off, we're back on track, as I had indicated we would be, for the FY13 budget. We have, I've instructed and will instruct staff to provide for a level budget as it relates to personnel, but that I am more interested in understanding what their expenditure portion of the budgets should be versus what they actually are, because most of the departments, including the highway department for years, have basically had a level funded budget, even though materials and costs have increased significantly. So the money is coming from somewhere. Until we understand exactly what his budget will cover, we need to have a better explanation from highway and certain other departments as to what they're spending their money on. If you notice, there was quite an exchange of emails on revolving accounts, and the concern that I have in regards to revolving accounts is that if you're spending money from the revolving account, that should be coming from, supplies and materials or office products or something along those lines. We never have a true picture of what the cost is for most of the departments that have these revolving accounts. Most of the departments, just as a matter of, I would say a matter of principle, are spending their money appropriately. There are some departments that, obviously, as you know through my emails, we have some concerns with. We're going to work with those departments in the FY13 budget to do two things. One is to become more definitive as to what the expenditure portion of their budget is going to be, the reason and rationale for any increases, whether it's in personnel or in expenditure, although I have asked everyone to submit a level budget as it relates to personnel and to provide me with a budget that they think is reasonable as it relates to expenditures. I think FY13 is going to be a less financially difficult year. I don't think that we're going to see a tremendous increase in state aid to cities and towns, but I do believe that there will be some incremental increases as it relates to Prop 2.5, as it relates to local estimated receipts, And I think Chapter 70 and Chapter 90 money will remain steady. That's my predictions for FY13. I sit here tonight with a crystal ball. I feel like the card reader
You have a
that we
permit?
just gave a license to, because I have no way of actually knowing what those numbers are going to. I will tell you, though, that we project to save anywhere between $700,000 to $800,000 on plan design. That is something that we are going to work with the unions on figuring out how that mitigation money will be spent. If we do that, it will give us an opportunity to then look at the personnel portion of the budget and see if we can make any incremental changes. I don't think that we can make wholesale changes and hire a number of people in the various departments. I just don't think we're at, I'm not at that comfort level, and I don't think that the townspeople are either. So I think we need to proceed cautiously as we look at the FY13 budget. I am meeting Wednesday night with the Finance Committee to discuss the revolving account issue, as well as to begin the process of the FY13 budget process. So on Wednesday of this week, I am going to submit to staff what I think they should submit for budgets as it relates to expenditure and salaries. I want a level-funded budget for salaries at this point, and we'll take a look at the expenditure portion of the budget to make sure that it is in line with what they need to sustain their department. Because we can't track expenditures and project future revenue and expenditures based on the budget design that we have right now. We need another year or so before we can accurately project expenditures, because we need to look at the expenditure portion of the budget in the UMIS format that allows us to classify expenditures so we can then track them appropriately. We're working on that. In addition to that, I will be implementing, hopefully by July 1st, a new integrated financial software package that will also include integration of all of our financial software among and between the various departments. We're all operating from the same platform. The financial software package will be one in which we can issue reports on budgets as well as expenditures on overtime and line items throughout the budget for both the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen as we go through the status updates on the budget, which I hope to have one for you on the 19th. So I think as far as the financial picture looks, it's not as clear and cloudy as we once were in the last couple of years. I will tell you, though, that I think that if you look at where we were when I started and where we are now, we've made tremendous progress financially. We have money in stabilization, we have certification of free cash, and that's really the work of the finance team, and the members of the finance team, and their advice and their ability to help us work through some of those issues. And also for the department heads who watch their budgets and spend their money appropriately for the most part. So I think that we're going to see a better budget process for FY13. We're going to see a different budget, not design, but a different budget format in the sense that we're going to get more detailed in our budget expenditures. We're going to begin to look at increases and where those increases are going to come from. They will become part of my report to the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee as to where we are with the budget. The budget will have prior year expenditures as well as the current year expenditure year-to-date and what is proposed for FY13, so that we could look at trends for the prior years. We can look at where we are with respect to current expenditure for year-to-date, and we can then project from that what we need for FY13. So there'll be a lot more information in the budget process than we had last year, and that is something that we're going to build upon each year of the budget process. But we are going to implement an integrated financial software package that will track hours of work, vacation, sick, personal, and will provide us with the ability to give you those reports on a monthly basis or quarterly basis in relationship to sick time used, vacation time used, personnel time used, and so forth, as well as overtime, vacation. And I think that those are trends that we need to track on a regular, consistent basis going forward. So that's it on the budget piece. Town Hall, there will be a Chinese Christmas party for the employees of the town here on the 23rd at noontime. I'll be providing, Chinese food
Yeah,
for
cooking.
anyone
What about
who's
special town
interested.
employees?
And if you are coming, you're going to have to eat with chopsticks. There's no forks allowed. That should get everyone in and out quickly. And other than that, I don't think we,
Stretch the food, too.
okay. I have some paperwork for you to sign, but I'm all done.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Selectmen, old and new business. Does anybody have anything? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Does any old selectman wish to have
I had two
any business?
You
questions.
got anything?
Go ahead.
We're gonna have the Griffin's Dairy Committee come in at some point in time? Is that something we can do?
We
We put
put them
'em off.
off after the first of the year, only because there was not enough time for them to give you a report. This agenda was so heavy.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
they
the
are-
19th is shaping up to be heavy, too.
Yeah, so they
just-
were they said, no problem, they'll come in after the first of the year, one of
Yeah.
the 2 January meetings, Sage and Griffin's.
And John, just an update on the building inspector's position. Has that been resolved as far as, do we have a permanent full-time?
Not yet, not yet. I would probably desire to talk to you about that since it's a personnel matter in executive session when we have it posted. And I'd also provide notification to the building inspector if he should so desire to attend.
Anything else under Selectmen, old, new business?
Chris?
Yes,
Just a
sir.
matter, you gentlemen were there too, but attended a Board of Health meeting in regards to the capping of the dump on Groveland Street. In talking to them, that is coming forward. It's something the town has to do, and it's going to be a huge undertaking for this town, and I think not only to the residents of Groveland Street, but to the rest of the residents of the town. We should keep them informed as to where we're going with that and what it's going to involve. And I'm not sure that it wouldn't be wise for us to have a hearing with the Board of Health in regards to that, so that the people can do. I know we had a hearing once before where it was like 7 different ways they could cap the dump. And I think they took part of the middle road, but I'm not even certain about that process, whether it would stay the same or not. But I would like to have a meeting with the Board of Health and perhaps even the gentleman, I think it was from SEA Consultants, to let the residents know what's going on and keep informed about what's going on, because that is going to be a big thing for this town.
I agree. I was at that meeting. Andy was, too. It's something that will need to be discussed.
Speaking of the Board of Health, just one item I'd like to add. We're in the process of formulating an RFP for curbside collection of municipal solid waste and recyclables. We are looking very seriously at an automated trash collection system as an alternative bid to, we're going to look at 2 bids, one, to keep it the way it is, and then the other to look at automated trash collection. I can tell you that based on the automated trash collection programs that I'm familiar with, the average reduction in tonnage is between 1,500 and 2,000 tons. Now, at, approximately $80 a ton, that's a significant savings based on the program, which that savings could pay for the capital expenditures that are necessary to get the barrels and so forth. So there are a number of issues. I am going to be meeting with the Board of Health on the 19th to discuss the RFP and how we want to structure that. If any member of the board is interested in attending, it'll be a good, significant discussion about the trash program going forward. I think that the Board of Health has made tremendous strides in trying to reduce tonnage. the tonnage numbers still fluctuate up and down. There's no consistency to the tonnage numbers. So we are looking at structuring a bid process that will provide us with some ability to predict what that monthly tonnage is going to be.
Anything else on the Selectmen old new business? Sure? Okay. Public comment? No? I'd like to thank our cameraman, Chris Prowl. I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purposes of an update pertaining to pending litigation and collective bargaining with the library, clerical, firefighters, and ASME union.
Can I just add, could we add strategy in there pertaining to collective bargaining? Seems like we could just get the update without talking about anything,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have a question. The only question I have is, where some of this is issues that I can't participate in, and I guess in terms of the update that Attorney Fair provided, which I've read in depth, do you anticipate any votes being taken, or is it just simply the update that's been provided?
From my standpoint, just
Just the legal
an
update.
update and answering any questions that the report have. In terms of the collective bargaining piece, the manager is handling some of those collective bargaining negotiations on his own, so I have to defer to him as to whether I can.
No, I don't think there's not much as far as, we will be discussing contracts that are outside of fire, but no votes, so you can leave.
Someone make a motion? Okay, so moved. Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call. Mike?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Chris, yes. All right, that's it.